excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm Ben, calling every Russian epic coming.
I'm John. I worked at Burger King and I got some problems with his bullshit.
I'm Cobra.
It's funny that you both like really shitty movies.
Hello, welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I am John.
I am Ben.
I am Cobra.
I don't know if I like this. This is stupid. Well, I was trying to come up with an idea of what to do between now and Christmas, and what I came up with was just to pick some random-ass 80s slasher that nobody had heard of. So, Cobra, you came up with Hell High. Yeah? You said you found it on a list or something?
I wish it could have been better. Yeah, a list by Fangoria. Somebody's going to go out and say, fuck you, Fangoria, you suck.
Yeah, they're not great.
We're not sure what year this is either.
See, you said on IMDb... You said IMDb said 87?
I saw 87 on IMDb.
I have it open now and it says 89.
On IMDb?
Yeah.
Did you find the right Hell High, Ben?
It was on a list of it would be like horror movies from 1987, and there was a link for IMDb, and you just scroll down through it, and it was on there for because I had the same actor, the one actor.
This might be one that like maybe they made and they just didn't want to release and they just dumped it out. When was the release date? Hang on, I'll look while you talk.
This movie does not feel or look like 1989, so I'm going to assume it was probably filmed a few years earlier.
May 12th, 1989. You know what? Let's look up some trivia on this freaking movie. Shot in 1986, but not released until 1989.
Told you, it did not feel like 89.
Yeah, the reason is Christopher Stryker, the main guy. I knew this. He died of AIDS before they released it, so they probably shelved it.
Who was this? Which actor?
He was the other one, Dickens, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dickens, yeah. John was the football player that quit, and that guy he is in Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that did anything after.
Yeah, he was the only one who had a picture. Of all the actors, everybody else is just blank.
That's how you made it on IMDb when you get your picture on there.
So the beginning of this movie I was like, what are we getting here? Because it's a little girl. She goes outside.
In a dress.
Yeah.
Cobra.
Sticking a hot dog through a donut.
Happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
I like the synth, though, that opened the...
Some of the music was fine.
Some of it. Yeah.
Some of it. The jazz was not a...
So, this girl's out playing in, it looks like a little...
abandoned shack?
A shack, yeah.
I don't
Where
know
did
what
this girl
that
come
is.
from? There ain't no houses around there.
No idea.
Also, the filler, because they show her walking for at least a minute and a half.
My favorite part of the movie, by the way. Someone walking.
Walking.
We know.
And walking. And walking. This is like the most insane rape scene. Or attempted rape.
I don't know what this is. Like, this dude is a fucking asshole. And I don't think he's ever touched a boob before in his life. He was like pushing on them and she's just laying there like, I don't think we're gonna do this here. And he gets so fucking mad. He gets up and he's like, you fucking bitch!
And that's what makes her mad.
My favorite thing about this movie is that these people who are supposed to be like these tough guys are riding around on dirt bikes. I think they're supposed to be motorcycles, but I feel like the budget couldn't afford them, so they got dirt bikes.
You know what, though? You can give me these cheesy crashes all day long, though. That motorcycle crash?
Oh, yeah.
Love that shit.
So let's talk about this. This little girl throws mud in the face of the biker because he's driving by. And they fall on some punji sticks.
Yeah.
Where
the sticks come from?
They're like perfectly placed in the ground, like she had meant to do it. I was like, did she do that?
It looked like she was in Vietnam and creating punji sticks for people to step on.
Dude, there were like 8 of them there in that one shot where their bodies were laying. So would she go to like a juvenile home for that, you think?
I'm going to assume she never got caught.
Yeah.
I think she went home and has been living with this for her whole life.
From what I read, it's supposed to be like 18 years after, so she just kept living. Like, she went through school, went through college, and now she's a professor. So.
Did you say from what I read?
Yeah.
Was that the subtitle on the screen that said 18 years later?
Oh, I didn't read that. Weird enough, the information was right there, and I didn't pay attention.
I love that you researched it, though. Good job.
He's got insight to him.
If I would just watch the goddamn movie. Ugh.
He's got Cliff's notes in front of him.
I just need the characters' names. They're so fucking hard to remember.
Dickens and John.
Right.
I'm 3/4 of the way through my notes before I even remotely got a name down.
Queenie.
I think John's right. Queenie?
Yeah, Queenie is the girl.
And the fat guy.
I thought the fat guy was literally just going to spend the whole movie laughing for a little bit there. Because, like...
Or
throwing shit, yeah.
He's kind of funny, though, later on.
Kind of.
Some of his lines.
What are these people?
These people are they supposed to be like the rejects?
This is less likely than the Breakfast Club, dude. These people would never hang out.
They picked up John because they have like a vendetta against the football team, and he quit the football team, and everyone says because he's a coward. So they want him to join their club so they can play a prank on the football team, I believe.
The quarterback.
Weirdly enough, this is a through line. This goes the whole way through the movie. Like, whoever wrote this has a serious problem with football players.
Also, this Dickens, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Who's, I guess, the leader of this group. He's wearing a poor man's varsity jacket.
Yeah.
This thing when he collects the papers in the classroom, though, is funny as shit.
It's the most over-the-top high school class I think I've ever seen.
He smacks that guy in the head like 3 times with the paper.
I feel like that teacher never teaches a goddamn thing. All she does is just stand up there and yell at people for not paying attention. And then she just hauls off and hits him, which, ugh.
Was okay.
I mean, I would have too. if he's throwing all those fucking papers in my face and shit.
Doesn't Dickens pretty much tells the teacher she's gonna get what's coming to her
Mm.
or something.
Yeah.
Which, immediately it's like, oh, you're not gonna hurt her, or yeah, I guess you will hurt her, but it's like immediately I'm like, okay, he wants to rape her.
It seems to me that he's super sexually frustrated because he's just very aggressive and no one wants to fuck him. Like, nobody.
Nobody at all.
Which,
even that girl's like, if you weren't such a dick all the time.
Yeah. Nice guy?
Well, the guy who would sit there and say, why don't you go out with me, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, that's a nice guy. That's all they are. There's White Knight is another one, where they'll come in and call them madam or something stupid like that and defend them. Like, if a woman goes online and she's like, blah, blah, feminism, and some guy's like, yeah, fuck you, these dudes will come flying in. How dare you offend her?
Gotcha. Even the football coach is a bit of a perv, and he's asking his sons.
He's being nice at first.
No, because he eventually reveals what it was he was up to.
He's creepy as shit.
He wanted her to come to the game, and somewhere in his fucked up, weird mind, he thought that if
he was going to win the game.
Yeah, they win the game and she'll sleep with him.
Yeah, it was the player's fault.
But if...
Yeah.
There's so many questions I have about that fucking football game.
The coach of the team so you can sleep with all the teachers?
Is that your plan?
Writing.
I would think it's your plan.
This is top-notch writing.
Yeah, I feel like an 8-year-old wrote this. I really do. The 4 people get together and decide that they're going to play a prank on the football team. I'm putting play a prank in quotes because really what they do is that they get in...
the writing.
Oh my god, they get into a car, drive it onto the football field. No one seems to notice them coming. Nobody notices when they're on the field until they catch the ball, which is thrown perfect. Oh my god.
Do you think they
We are
gave him that touchdown?
we are jumping ahead a bit. We need to. They follow the science teacher home, or the two guys do.
Oh,
Jim-
right.
Jim- John
Right.
And Dickens, and then this teacher, she immediately runs into her house,
Soap and her
Undressed.
titties.
jumps in the shower, and she's masturbating pretty much. Like,
think,
she's
yeah.
she's sexually frustrated. Like, what?
Why is she?
I told you I've never washed my boobs like that. I don't know what's going on.
I think we have confirmation that she was pleasuring herself.
I was just like,
I mean-
what is going on?
One area of your body does not need that much soap. So,
That's with the nipple quirks.
but what's weird is the phone rings and she sprints like full speed out of the shower to go answer the phone, and I'm like, why? What was the point of that? Plus, they're just like, so the setup here is that her bathroom is directly across from the window.
You
She
can
showers.
see right into her.
Right, she showers with the door open, the shower curtain open. Oh,
She lives on a plantation near a swamp, though, so.
yeah, alright. She probably doesn't expect people to be staring in through her window. I mean, most people wouldn't, but...
She's on the second floor.
She should move the firewood is what she needs to do.
That's
Yeah, I
bad.
mean,
the
that's-
first mistake. Having the wood like steps there.
Yeah.
So then we have the football game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where John is going to pick up. Would you say her name was Queenie?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So, did you see the pipe holder on the dashboard of this car he's driving?
No.
I missed that.
On the dashboard, and there's a pipe just sitting in this like pipe holder. I've never seen such a thing.
What is it?
It's a pipe holder. I don't know. So you can smoke your pipe in the car. It's
Sounds useful.
very strange. We do get a nice flash.
Oh my god!
Shot.
Turn your head. Okay.
That reminded me a lot of,
Is that ever happened to you guys?
no. We're just not as cool as John, that's why.
Yeah.
Because we don't have two first names like that.
I was halfway there.
Ray. I guess I was kind of halfway there. John Atta instead of John.
Jesus
Why don't
Christ.
you change your John? Why don't you change your name to John?
Because no. Absolutely not.
So they're all going to the football game. Did you see the one coach on the sideline in blackface?
Oh, no. Nope, missed that.
I am 100% certain it wasn't like the quality of the film that they had. It was like shoe polish all over his face.
Why? Why?
Go back and look.
Oh,
Tell
man.
me, you know. What happened to that player that was on the gurney?
Fucking, what's his name was like threatening him with a knife. And like there's
Yeah.
other
With
people,
the paramedics.
they're standing around and they're just watching it.
The paramedics are right there.
Yeah.
The whole time.
They just kind of look at him with the knife and they kind of give him a look like, oh, brother, get out of here. Like the dude's threatening him with a fucking knife.
The player's like strapped to this gurney. He's bleeding from his mouth and he looks really pale. I don't know what they were trying. We had already talked about this where they drive the car onto the football field, catch the ball,
Mm-hmm.
drive off the field as if an interception occurred. We're to assume that the football team lost this game because of that play?
So, what I'm looking at right now, and I don't know who the fuck wrote this because I didn't see this, but it says, the football team is overmatched and outclassed, making many poor plays and falling behind 20-0. I don't remember seeing a score. I don't remember.
That was not the score. It was closer than that.
Who wrote this? Our 4 miscreants are out in the parking lot kicking around ideas for the prank.
Is it?
Is it what's his name from Claudio? Yeah. Jesus. I did laugh my ass off at this part, though. I really did. It's so stupid. Yeah, it's so stupid.
The music that's being played
What?
is so insane.
It's a song about trusting somebody?
Trust in you. I'll be the day and night. Maybe we'll see this through. I'll be waiting here for you.
I'm like, what the hell is this? It looked like a 1980s music video. And at this point, too, I'm thinking to myself, when has this become a horror movie? This is so far away from being a horror movie right now.
I may have missed the line. I had no idea why they randomly ended up in the swamp later that night.
Something about it haunted, maybe?
Yeah, they're gonna collect mud and then go haunt her because there's 2. They don't even know that she murdered them, I don't think, but that's what it ends up being.
There's a legend of these 2 people who died in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you have just got a shovel, mix some dirt and water, and there's your mud? Why would you
They
have
put
to...
the gloves on after they collect the mud with their hands, too, to pick up the bag.
I thought they were collecting frogs at one point because the frog dissection thing at the beginning. I had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, I was lost. I was completely lost. Like, you can get mud anywhere, and unless they actually believe that there's ghosts, there would be no reason to get mud.
This also, it switches to a bunch of POV shots that haven't happened up till now.
So you're thinking there's ghosts or something?
Yeah.
There aren't.
Or like a stalker or somebody, but like... So you have POV shots in the swamp, but then you never see it again, and you didn't see it before. Like,
It kept making me think the teacher was out there looking to kill them, but then I'm like, why would she be? It wouldn't make any sense.
It reminded me of the Silver Bullet when they go out looking, and it's in the fog, and it just has like 2 people, and it just randomly shows these people by themselves collecting mud. It's real stupid.
So yeah, they go to the teacher's house, which I guess her name must be Brooke. I have no idea. I don't remember them saying that.
Her friend shows up and gives her Quaaludes.
Well, that's
oh yeah.
after they go up on the roof. Yeah.
It'll help you sleep.
They go up on the roof using those logs.
They try to break in first, don't they?
No. First they go up on the roof. They jump around. They're all wearing masks, and they jump around on the roof. Yeah. She starts to freak out, and they just start throwing mud on the glass. Then they dump mud directly on her.
Yeah, when she comes out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a flashback of her throwing mud on those bikers and them punji sticks.
That's a stretch, man.
Dramatic flashback scene.
Yeah. So then after they punch one of the windows, I think they're trying to break in or something. I'm not really sure why they did it.
He was trying to get in to rape her.
Yeah, probably.
The bad guy falls off the roof at one point.
Oh, yeah.
And then he says, whip it.
With this, I'll put in quotes, flashback scene, it's revealed to the audience that, oh, she's the little girl. Were they really trying to hide that?
It goes straight from her as a child to her teaching school. It's so blatantly obvious.
Yeah, 18 years later.
But,
with nobody in the classroom.
I don't know, but her friend does show up then. And she's muttering to herself and saying all kinds of crazy shit. So she's like, all right, I'll give you some pills, and then I'm just going to leave. Here's the thing.
What?
Here's the thing.
It's not a home invasion.
The glass is broken. She's covered in mud. And her friend is just like, here's some pills. See you later.
Not calling cops.
Yeah, nothing. And that's the last we see of that friend, too, I think.
Gone.
She's just gone.
Was she teaching at the end?
No, that was somebody else.
That was somebody else?
Yeah. So...
Yeah, you don't see her again then.
Now we get Dickens. Just goes upstairs and starts grabbing her boobs. Again, a guy who doesn't know how to touch boobs. But... But not only does he not know how to touch boobs, he doesn't know when to touch boobs, because that's not the time at all. But it gets weirder because Queenie goes in to see what is going on, and Queenie is like, "You're doing it wrong." And she starts molesting her, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, then the other two finally come in.
That's when I text you, both of you, and said, what the fuck am I watching?
A rape at that point.
Yeah. She gets up out of the bed and jumps out the window, and they think
she's dead.
Yeah, they think she's
I
dead.
got shaky cam going right now.
They think she's dead. I can't imagine you on a Quaalude jumping out a fucking window like that. It's not Coquino.
Oh no, I have written down that Helen hunted it.
Oh, yeah.
From the famous Helen Hunt after school special in the 80s where she's on Angel Dust.
The one I remember, I don't know if it was an after school special or what it was, but it was on fridges because people had their kids and they were getting trapped in fridges or something. So they were doing like a special on how to remove the door from fridges before they go to dump yards. Because like a kid ended up dead in a dump yard in a fucking fridge in the 80s.
So instead of just making the refrigerator door open up from the inside,
I don't even know. How do you not get out of a fucking fridge?
Is it a way to keep the rest of your family from eating food or something? What the fuck?
You ain't getting in there.
Okay, so they come up with a really stupid plan. They're
frame the quarterback.
Yeah, John is really worried that his future is over. He keeps saying it over and over again. And so
actually, that's a line throughout the whole movie about his future.
Because he hung out with these guys for one day. Things escalated quickly.
Did you get the fat guy say that he's going to go to move to Mexico?
Yeah.
And the woman's like, what's in Mexico? And he's like,
Mexicans.
From dusk till dawn.
Give us an offer on our best selection of pussy. This is a pussy blowout.
So they're going to frame the quarterback, but they need a piece of his clothing.
Yeah.
Like
so John knows this looked like a 4-star restaurant, apparently. The football team hangs out at after games, and so he's off to steal a jacket.
He does, and then he deflates one of the tires, I think.
It's 10 minutes long, this scene. Like,
yeah, it's filler.
Like, the other teammate keeps looking out the window, and he's like hiding in a shadow of a car, and I'm like, come on. And it just keeps going back and forth for like 10 minutes.
He purposely wants them to chase him so that I can't remember.
I didn't think he wanted them to chase him at all.
I think he did because when he pulled out, he like purposely made like a lot of noise with his car.
I thought he was just like, I got away with it.
He's just burning rubber.
There's an explosion.
Well, we also find out this time the teacher's not dead. And I spit on your grave ensues.
Pretty much. Queenie.
Poor Queenie, huh?
Queenie is pissed, and what's his name's throwing her around as he does because he's a piece of shit. Yeah, Dickens. So she goes outside and hears the teacher calling. It goes over and she's like, "Oh, good, you're alive. Everything's fine then, right?" Well, nope, because Brooke smashes her face in with a rock. So
the best shot in the movie, probably.
Yeah.
This is terrible gore. It doesn't take much to smash a fake skull in. She has a huge boulder.
And when she's hitting him, it's just kind of like glunk, glunk, glunk. It's really bad.
Like you said, John, like we have a explosion.
That's their budget. That's all their budget.
What was the budget on this?
I'll look while you guys...
Good luck finding that.
It doesn't look like there's a whole lot here. Oh my god. The first thing that came up is this film was shot without permits on several locations.
Oh, I can see that, yeah. I love movies like that, though.
So the budget was $9.
Hell High was originally called What Do You Want to Do Tonight, but the distributors wanted a more generic horror movie title. Well, that explains why it's called Hell High.
It probably would make more sense. What do you want to do tonight?
I think he asks that at one point. So, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, we're going to put the name of the title in the line of the movie. Gotta love those ones.
I love when they name drop the title of the movie in the movie.
I found a meme the other day of Belial from Basket Case, and his brother is sitting in the bathroom, and his brother's like, Belial, you really are a basket case. All right, it made $187,000, but I don't see any budget.
It made $187,000.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no budget information, though.
Omaha, Nebraska, on one day.
So this is where the movie really slows down, and it doesn't have any. It shouldn't slow down here. It should pick up. But
The
Yeah.
chase scene is too long.
She's finally killing people, but it's just... First of all, the kills are meh.
not good.
Yeah.
It's too late for kills now.
I thought...
Because you're already bored.
I didn't think it was bad when she stabs the fat guy in the head and he turns around, stumbles down the stairs, and falls over. I thought that was... There was no gore, but I thought it was kind of realistic of what would happen if you got stabbed in the head with a pencil. Like, he just kind of loses control and just kind of goes down the stairs and falls over. So,
Oh my god, is that really coming back because he asked why a number 2 and she said it's the hardest?
yeah, probably.
Is that really?
That's probably
Oh
it.
god.
Oh, boy.
What?
That's at the beginning of the movie when they're taking their test and the fat kid says, why a number, she says use your number 2 pencil, and he says why a number 2, and she says because it's hardest, and he starts giggling. So he gets stabbed at the end with a number 2 pencil. Oh my god.
That's so good.
Okay.
Wow. Hey, man, script writing 101. That's fine. They did something right.
This script is tight as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tight, yeah.
It's razor thin. So, John comes back, plants the jersey. Meanwhile, I think Dickens gets stuck to a wall with a knife, right? And they tie him up.
No,
Or she
he's
ties him
strung
up.
up.
Well, she also does hit him with the knife into the wall.
She's going to dissect him like the frog
Right.
in her class.
But John walks in, and they knock her out, basically. How do they knock her out?
They have a fight.
He hits her with something?
Doesn't he-
I don't know.
He just punches her, doesn't he?
Dickens follows the fire poker.
Yeah, there's something with the fire poker.
No, he lands on her when she's holding the fire poker, and they both
Dickens
die.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
But
a
then how
double.
did he die?
She cuts her own throat.
No.
Accidentally.
Dickens has the knife. She has the fire poker,
Oh, okay.
and literally he dies with the fire poker on top of her as he's cutting her throat with the. It's so ridiculous and implausible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So John goes home. Just,
As you would.
yeah, right? He's like, I'm good. That's enough of this. And he's pretty much traumatized. But the plan works because they find...
He managed to go to school the next morning.
Yeah. And he's all excited because the cops come in and they arrest the quarterback.
Yeah, but he's worried at first.
Yeah, right.
Oh, also, can you plug when the quarterback gets arrested here at the end? You need to plug Not a Surf Popular.
He does yell out. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm the quarterback.
So,
But then he just kind of drifts off into space. And the teacher,
And then-
the new teacher's screaming at him. And he
And then he
has a
screams.
flashback of the whole movie, basically.
He had flashbacks of the punji stick people too, I think, at one point, and I was like, you didn't see that.
Yeah, it reminded me of Jaws: The Revenge when what's her name is seeing all these things that she wasn't there for.
Jaws the Revenge.
hmm When you say something reminds you of Jaws: The Revenge, that's not good.
Not at all.
I actually call the movie Weaver the Revenge because you talk about that movie all the time.
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
You made us watch it for Christmas one year.
Yep. Okay, so I'm really interested to see what kind of scores we give this. So I'll start with you, Ben.
Right. Oh. Well, I'm going to go with Cobra scale, and there was some gratuitous nudity, and it was spot on, so it's going to get at least 2 points higher. I had here, doesn't feel like 89. Now we know why.
Yep.
I had it felt very early 80s. The soundtrack, besides a couple songs, it was good. Like, it was cheesy and good, but there were a couple songs that was like, what the hell are you playing? There's no kills in this movie. You don't see anything when there is a kill. Like you said, the kills aren't over the top spectacular. They're just, I don't know. It's like early 80s kills. A throat cut. I guess punches, stick, impalement. I didn't have that on my bingo card, but how do you have the budget for? How do you have a budget for an explosion, but not for blood? Like, it's supposed to be a slasher film. That's another thing. This movie has no idea what it wants to be. It's not even horror. Like, it's and at the end, it's more of a revenge horror than anything. But pacing issues all around. It's not good when the most boring part of your movie is the last 20 minutes. But they managed it. 3 out of 10.
Okay. I also gave it. I gave it a 3. Yeah, I actually, without the gratuitous nudity, this movie might have not been anything. I couldn't. It feels like it wanted to be like 3 or 4 different kinds of horror movies. Like, they have a legend of a haunted swamp, but literally that leads to nothing. The teacher killed somebody when she was a kid, but it's not like it affected her later on in life until other people fucked with her.
So, Cobra, you said you saw this on a list. They literally called this a slasher film?
I thought it was a slasher. Maybe it was just lesser known 80s movies.
Yeah, it felt like a
Maybe it wasn't as a slasher though. He does get slashed with a knife.
It felt like a
Yeah,
blender of a bunch of different kinds of 80s movies. But,
Exactly.
like, really bad. Like, okay, so Sean Cunningham, before he made Friday the 13th, he was trying to cash in on anything that was popular. Literally anything. So when the Bad News Bears came out, he made, like, a rip-off version of a kids' baseball team that was a bunch of assholes who came back to win something. So it was like a shitty version of the Bad News Bears. This felt like a rip-off of those rip-offs. Like, it was like if somebody ripped off The Breakfast Club, this ripped that off. So that's kind of what it felt like to me. And it also felt like the writer, he threw his own personal angst in this. Maybe something held over from high school or something. He definitely had a very clear vision of what he wanted to say, but it's not this movie. It's not this. I think he has a problem with, like, jocks and, like, a culture war with the school, but instead he's just like, but it's a slasher too, right? So throw kills in the last 5 minutes of the fucking movie. And also some rape. Fuck this movie. It's a 3. Cobra?
I also gave it a 3.
Yay.
The first 15 to 20 minutes while the crazy punchy sticks, and at the school, I was like, all right, this is an 80s movie. It's got that feel. And then nothing happens for 45 minutes. And then by that point, you're like, whoa, okay, and then the teacher kills 3 people at the end and then somehow dies. I don't even know because I was so bored at that point. There's some boobs, which is nice. A couple good scenes, but other than that, it's not. I would not recommend this.
You know,
There's so
this
many
could
better
have
ones out there.
this could have boosted itself like a point or two if instead of planning to dissect that guy, and instead he gets loose and then he falls on a fucking poker, actually dissect him. Like, that would have made more sense. And then, like, maybe John has to kill her or something, and something like that. This made no sense at all.
Or if they found, like, a dead body at the teacher's house, like she had been doing this for years or something, like...
Yes.
Nothing. There was nothing to connect anything in this movie. It was just random shit.
That actually would have been better if they'd found out she was killing people or something, and then she's going after them because she knows they found out. Or something like that. Like, there's just...
Anything, yeah, anything.
Do you feel like halfway through this movie they decided to turn it into a horror movie?
Yeah, I can see that. It kind of seems like just a high school... I don't want to call it a comedy, but like...
Like, zapped with no fun.
Right. Take the beginning and
it
the...
looks like Scott Baio.
Take the very beginning and the end out, and all it is an 80s teen thing.
Yeah, if you turned it halfway on and saw that football scene, you would be like, this is like the
God.
Breakfast Club ripoff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say this, if you can look that scene up on YouTube, and I recommend watching it, because it's as ridiculous as it sounds.
Ooh, what are the comments?
I don't remember, but I'd have to look. But man, it's like the look on everybody's face. The car pulls onto the field. The play continues. No one reacts to the car on the field. And then they throw the pass, and then everybody's like, what? And also, it seems like the coach thinks it's insinuated
It's part
that...
of the play.
Well, it's insinuated that, like, they lost the game because of that. Like,
Yes.
like the referees were like, I'll allow it, game over.
Like, some of the other players were cheering, like,
Yeah.
you just scored a touchdown for us or something. But it's not so bad it's good. This is just so
No.
bad.
Yeah.
I wish I picked something better. I do. It was junky.
Well,
Better hope this isn't the start of a trend.
yeah, don't go down my road. You don't want to do that.
Ugh.
Alright, if you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/horrorcasting, horrorcastings@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @horrorcasting. We are on Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube.
Grill me.